guys, and we are back. Let's start with softball. The ladies started their season off with a 19-game road trip. They had finally returned home to host the Jayhawk Invitational. Nick, the Jayhawks are playing Missouri State. Break that down for us.
Well, Missouri State they're supposed to be the second best team in the Missouri Valley this season, but haven't been getting it going. Finishing at 9-8 this season so far. But let's look at some offensive MVPs. Taylor Dotson, 7 RBIs, 2 home runs, and 4 starts on the season. Really get it going on the offensive end. And then Monique Wesley had a big weekend last weekend, pitching 7 innings of 6-hit ball against Eastern Illinois. So a really impressive weekend from both of them, and they should get, if the offense can continue, all the teams are facing this weekend, Western Illinois, Nebraska, Omaha, Northern Iowa, all struggle pitching.
All right, so moving on from softball to track now. Seniors Dana Levy and Casey Brown were in action. Talk us through.
Well, the best chances for KU to win anything is in Deanna Levy's and Casey Brown's sections. They only need a couple meters in both of their events to get All-American status, which is the top 8 placement as far as placing goes. So if they can get the All-American status, to be good. But the not closest chance is Nikolai Seaban. The best shot putter from there is from Texas, and with a good throw from the Texas shot putter, he can qualify for the Olympics. So really good all around there. And Kansas will have 2 legitimate chances to get All-American status.
Well, their best shot putter they're going to face is Texas Longhorn Ryan Croser, whose best throw is 21.73 meters. That is a long way to throw a ball. He's looking to become an Olympic qualifier. The dude is so good.
He really is. And now we're going to bring an old friend into the show, Wendell Barnhouse, the former Big 12 Sports.com writer. We're going to talk some Big 12 sports. And we'll start off with some basketball. And the Big 12 tournament is going on today. 2 games will go so far. Baylor beat Texas. And then we saw from your highlight, Kev, there, Kansas State lost to Kansas. And so we're going to bring in Wendell. And the first question, Wendell, that we want to ask you is, so far this season, what are your thoughts on this Kansas team and this win today? And how high is their ceiling as far as the tournament goes?
Well, it really should be Final Four minimum. The Big 12 for the last couple of years has been known as the best conference in the country. Last year, the number 1 RPI, they only got 1 team to the Sweet 16 in West Virginia. The Big 12 has got to have some success, and I think Kansas is the best team to perhaps have that success. I think they fall short of the Final Four. This season is going to be a disappointment. As balanced college basketball is this year, there really is no outstanding team. I think it's kind of a crapshoot. It's going to, for Kansas, it's going to depend on matchups, who else they have, who ends up in the bracket. And this Kansas team, be really impressive like they were today, but there are times if they don't get any scoring out of the center position, they've got to have scoring out of the other 4. If the other 4 guys on the floor all are playing well, this Kansas team can go a long way.
You talked about how it depends on where they're really placed in the tournament. What will it really take besides scoring inside, like you were mentioning, that is really going to propel this team to maybe even win a national championship this season?
Well, I think, Perry Ellis really needs to close out his career playing just really great. I mean, he needs to be getting, if he can score 15 to 20 a game throughout the postseason, Kansas is going to be in really good shape because he really is their only threat to score in the lane. So he's got to give them something around the basket so the offense gets some balance. Honestly, I think Kansas's backcourt is really up there. Almost, it's as good as Oklahoma's. Maybe the best backcourts in the country are the Big 12 when you look at Oklahoma's backcourt. But the way that Frank Mason and Devontae Graham have been playing, they're both point guards, but they play together a lot. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, it looked like Frank Mason was running out of steam. He played that great game against Oklahoma on Big Monday that went triple overtime, played the entire game. It looked like it took him a couple of weeks to recover from that. And I think also what Bill Self has done since that game, he's kind of expanded his bench a little bit. He plays more. I mean, Self's a guy that's really usually happy playing 7 to 8 guys a game, but they can go 9 or 10 deep if they need to. And, so basically, most nights they're going to have to get three guys scoring really well. Wayne Selden's got to be solid. If Selden, Perry Ellis, and either Mason or Graham are scoring in the 15 to 20 range, this team's going to be really tough to beat. If two or three of those guys have an off night or get down, Kansas is going to have trouble because they're going to have trouble scoring.
Outside of Kansas, who's a Big 12 team who could win a national championship or go to a Final Four?
Well, I think go to the Final Four. This year, national championship, I mean, who knows? I mean, the team that's playing right now in AC, West Virginia, to me, they've been scary good all year because they really got a deep team. They go 9 or 10 deep. They pressure all the game, the whole game. And I've seen a lot of people write that this West Virginia team offensively has some problems. I think their guards are really good, can score. If there's a dark horse team to maybe get to the Final Four, it might be a West Virginia. Bob Huggins knows what it takes to do that. And again, if with West Virginia, if they could get like to a regional final, they can be real tough out because it's really hard. The first round team they play can prepare for them. And they play the second round. Whoever they play in the second round is not going to have much time to prepare. Same thing, if they get to the Sweet 16, they win that game. It's only a day to prepare for all that pressure that West Virginia throws at you. So, this West Virginia team's got, possible, Final Four team. Oklahoma, they're the one thing about the Big 12 teams that's going to knock teams out, both Kansas and Oklahoma, is the inability to score around the basket. As I said earlier, Ellis has got to score. Oklahoma has got to get some baskets around the rim in the paint. They can't just rely on jump shooting. I think we saw what happened when they lost to Texas a week and a half ago when Texas went on a 22-0 run. All Oklahoma did was take jump shots. They missed those shots, and Texas was able to roll past them. That's what Oklahoma's got to avoid. If they have a 5-minute cold snap in a game where their guards aren't hitting, they could get knocked out quick.
Real quick, today Texas Tech lost to TCU, and they were a lock before today. Do you think they still make the tournament?
I think they're still in. It looks like the guys that grind the numbers and really look at it closely. The Joe Lenardis of the world. I think he's got them as a number 9 seed right now. And if you're a 9 as an at-large, you're in really good shape. I think. There've been some so far. To me, there hasn't been a lot of really wacky stuff happen in conference tournaments. Like Vanderbilt was a team on the bubble, they lost. Syracuse was a bubble team, they lost. Wichita State, we don't know what their status is. So I think it's really going to be tough picking all the at-large teams because there are just a lot of teams that are just a notch above mediocre. But I think the fact that Texas Tech went 500. 12, the toughest conference in the country. I think that's going to serve them well. It didn't help they lost to TCU, but I still think they're going to get in. Like I said, when you're a number 9 being projected right now, you're in pretty good shape.
All right, Wendell. Well, thank you for joining us on the show today, and we'll be back after spring break. We have spring break next week, so in 2 weeks from Monday, we will see you guys again. Thank you for joining us, and see you next Monday.
Don't forget to follow at Playmakers KU, Twitter and Instagram. We'll see you later.